Hey guys, it's Luthais, and damn, I can't wait till I use those pipe bomb arrows on vehicles, guys. I've blown up a lot of vehicles with grenades and pipe bombs, and just using an arrow, which a pipe bomb is attached to, I think is going to open up PvP for a lot of fun. You know, and especially that area of effect damage for campers, you know, and bush babies and people like that. So in any case, guys, yes, this is the base building guide, showing you guys exactly how easy and fun snap base building is. Right there in the beginning, I'm just showing you guys why I chose this location. It's got a lot of iron ore deposits to upgrade your walls, okay? And of course, I've always wanted a beach house. So on the right, it's just a basic little base that I built for myself with a nice view of the sea. Then this is basically a garage for a vehicle, although I'm not planning on getting a vehicle because I love quads, and unfortunately they despawn within 6 hours, hence why I love having my own server. And yes, I'm on the experimental server, and the reason I did this is because I want to wait until they get the buddy system or partner system going, and then I'll be able to show you guys how easy it will be to snap roofs. Okay, so later on in a different episode, when they've updated the snapping, I'll be showing you guys new features and just how awesome it's going to be. Now, starting right at the beginning, this is of course my base. Because of the iron ore deposits, it didn't take me too long to upgrade the walls. And yes, within this small little 2x3 unit, I've got more than enough space for everything I need. These little shutter doors, they need to tweak that a bit, especially with snapping, and I'd like those shutter doors to be a bit bigger. But I mean, yeah, this is my base. This is my little fish. Keeps me company before I start crying myself, to sleep because I'm so lonely. And yes, this is my balcony. Love always loved the ocean. In real life, I'd love to have a house on the beach. Got a few guard dogs, guard bears to protect my base. And the base location is on the wolves' border, so they can't get to me. I placed the base on the exact point where they have to turn around. So they act as good guard dogs, but they tend to bother me that now and then as well when I want to chop trees. So just gonna talk to the leader here a bit and let the puppies know who's the king of the beach here. I really love the tiki torches. Of course, you're gonna need matches to light the tiki torches. But they add a lot of immersion, really make your base look great. Unfortunately, I can't really focus on tiki torches, and when the snapping is complete, I'll make my final base building guide on my own base. Well, add a lot of lights to my base using different paints for different color schemes, and really just showing you guys the design that I love the most. Now, to get started, I'm going to show you the parts that you need for this base. Okay, so what I did is I got 10 1.3 by 4x4 platforms. Okay, that's going to be the basic. We're going to build 3x3 with an extra one. You'll see what I mean. Then we've got the 3x4x4. Which we've got about 14 of them, and I'll show you exactly why we need 14 of them. Then we've got the curved 1.3 by 4 by 4 for the lower part, for the base, and of course to put on top of that, we've got our 8 roofs, and then we've got 10 walls, 1 wall for the door, and of course the door, and then we've just got a few 3 tiki torches there. Not that I can really show you how lights and tiki torches help you, because the experimental server runs 24 hours daytime. So yeah, can't really show you what we can do with nice lighting. But what I can show you is how quick this is. A lot of you guys asked me to show the building, you know, instead of just giving you explanations, and that's what I'm going to do here. So first thing I want to do is press shift. I'm picking the highest point on the ground, and then I press shift to get it down to a nice level so that I don't have to use too much to cover the sides. And from here I'm just going to use shift again, and then to let it sink in, and then alt to rotate it so that my planks, you know, are in the same direction. And as you can see here, guys, for any of you that has been playing Miscreated for a long time, this is a dream come true. Especially for guys that were focusing on designs and got really frustrated. Okay, I must say I haven't died once. With everything I've tested on the experimental server, I haven't died because of a bug once. Literally, I've packed up a platform and see the box drop right in front of my eyes, and you know, it hasn't killed me, but I'm still careful, you know, don't want to push my luck too far. But yes, within the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you guys how great it is, how much fun it is to build a base. Now, everything is not moonshine and roses, okay? You guys still have to go chop the trees or go get the lumber in the trucks. You still have to stand in front of those, you know, ore deposits and break your pickaxes one by one. So you still have to do a lot of gathering. But again, the balance of Miscreated is what I love. So that, you know, it's not just PvP or just exploring. There's a lot of different facets to keep yourself busy with. Now here I'm struggling to get the specific snapping point. With previous builds, I didn't struggle this much, but again, this is not final. They are making a lot of improvements, and with a new buddy system or partner system, you'll be able to snap to any side, okay? And basically all I'm doing here is, I know I'm going to get it right. All I want to do is get it where it sticks, and then I just want to rotate it with the Alt key. Okay, so you can see it sticks there, then I'm rotating it, but my angle isn't perfect. But I mean, if we think back to how much time it took us to build, you know, a base that we really liked, then this is nothing. As you can see, they're snapping. Okay, so it's just the angle that I'm looking at it, and I'm showing you guys this struggle to show you guys that the video is still just going to be about 23-24 minutes, and I want to show you guys how quick and easy it is. I mean, I'm using curved parts here, which probably confuses the snapping a bit, but in previous tests, you know, when I get it to snap in the certain location, I get that locked dot, and I use the Alt to rotate it. It normally just works fine. So I don't know if it's the ground level or whatever, but yes, I'm taking you guys here through my suffering, and that's just a joke, guys. This is not suffering. Everything I'm doing here is a real pleasure. The only sad thing is that I'm putting in all this work and you know, trying different builds, and it's going to disappear. So that's the only negative thing about it. The positive thing for me is that I'm testing a lot of things. So when I get back to my server, you know, I've got a lot of new ideas, and my last episode I can really show you guys something that I'm proud of. Now, when I started playing Miscreated about 4 or 5 years ago, Miscreated had an intro where they, in their trailer, they were building a base in fast forward. And that's the kind of base that I started with. Now, without the snapping, it was quite difficult getting it perfect, but I could get it to look, you know, nice, as like in the trailer. But it also wasn't very raid proof. You know, people could raid me very easily, but again, I don't really care about the raiding because I can get geared really quickly. And I love the immersion. Hence again, you know, why I created the hardcore server, to have certain things in place. which I need after 5 years of playing Miscreated. And as you can see here, the speed at which we are doing this, knowing that it's absolutely perfect, it's just insane. Now I have a block in the middle that I had missing, and this was really dumb of me because I had the guide. For a moment I think I didn't have the guide, but I mean I already used the stairs platform in my previous base. So yes, again, just changing my angle, and getting it hooked in. So I'm just gonna pack up that platform and put it in the gap there. But yes, you can see I've got the platform with the stairs, which is your go-to platform. Okay, if you don't have that guide, which helps you to craft that, although I'm not 100% sure with all the updates if you still need a guide to craft it, but in any case, long story short, you need the guide to craft that platform with the stairs to make it much easier for you to get onto your upper levels. So of course, yeah, I'm using the platform to get higher, and again, I've done this years ago, but I was just a bit confused of where I put the 4 platforms. I wasn't sure if it's the 4 in the corner or in the middle. And after doing this build again, there is going to be some hiccups because of where I placed my plot sign. But looking at the build, if I don't make those 2 corners curved, I can really make a very, very tall looking roof. It will give me a different look. But I mean, I really like the look in the trailer. So I really like the design. And then the other thing is, in today's age, I'm not, 5 years ago I was a fan of that. But in today's age, I love houses which don't have your pointy roofs. Like the modern houses with the flat roof, like, for the rich people, those roofs, those white houses with the balconies made of glass. Simon Cowell has got a house like that. So I love the modern look, and that's the look that I'm going to go for in my last episode, where once the update has come and the snapping is as good as the developers could get it, then I'm going to literally build I'm going to build my base as perfectly as I can to my needs. Now this is the biggest thing for me, guys. With C4 sticking to walls and doing damage up to 0.5 meter, stacking walls is not really an option anymore. And if you stack too much or you stack platforms, it just looks crap. Okay, if you do that, I'm not a fan of it. But this really opens up the doors to compartmentalize everything. Okay, so because I can place a wall in between the platforms while the platforms are perfect, I can basically put I can put a wall around each and every platform to make sure that the guys use as much C4 as possible to get to my loot. The reason why you don't want to use as much compartments as possible is if you didn't place your plot sign very high, and you can't build 4 stories high, okay? That is actually the maximum amount of layers that they have to go through. Yes, they could guess wrong, but always look at it like that. If they come from the top, how many layers do they have to go through to get to the center? And if they come from the side, of my base, how many layers do they have to go through? And that's what I always look at. But I mean, yes, I always had to build a platform, put the 1.3 meter walls around the platforms, and then, craft the walls on top of that. And that wasn't even perfect either. So when you place your walls, You guys know what I'm talking about if you've built bases. There's a lot of frustration with that because you're putting your wall on top of the platform and then at some point they don't line up or there isn't space for the last wall and stuff like that. Here, everything lines up and everything's working perfectly. So basically, I just remembered that I need to put the two platforms right in the corner to get that same look as in the official Miscreated trailer. And yes, the big mistake that I made here is my plot sign is at the down there at the bottom on the beach, lower, quite a bit lower than what my base is here at the top. And that is one thing I didn't think of because I was just focusing on building that starting base and putting the plot sign there against the water. I was trying to see if I can build anything into the water. Okay, but unfortunately, even with a snap, you can't build anything in water. But I had to test it. Okay, I try and test everything. But then I just forgot about the plot sign there. And in essence, I'm only getting half of the plot sign's barrier to use. Okay, because half the circle is now in the sea, and the other half of the circle where I can build is on ground. So I'm basically wasting half of my building space. But in any case, right here, if you press the control key to use the old system, you might be able to place the roofs. But I saw that the plot sign was the problem, so I just forgot about it. Okay, I didn't make a big fuss of it. Here, even with ramps, you can see it snaps in place. And everything is just freaking smooth and fast, guys. Like I said, if you put all the work in to chop the trees, to gather the lumber, to sit there at the ore deposits and hack away with your pickaxe, those are going to be the times when you need to relax and take in the immersion and just grind it out. But when you get to this phase where you see all that hard work transforming into something creative. Now, of course, yes, this build of mine isn't extremely creative, but in my last episode, I will show you guys my best work, okay? And I'm sure it's not going to be better than a lot of you guys out there. I mean, we've got guys studying for architects, or they are architects. We've got people with a lot of vision. Now, my vision or creativity is not at 100, okay? On a scale from 1 to 100, I say my creativity or my vision is probably at about average or below average, so I just try and create something that I can visualize and which works for me. And the main thing here was just using the tiki torches, even though I knew I wouldn't be able to give you guys any sense of what it does for you at night. But just showing you nice locations where you can put things to light it up a bit. I mean, when you come back to your base, you don't really want everything to be dark. I mean, if you're inside the base, it doesn't matter that tiki torches are on. People can't shoot you. But when you come into your base, you want enough lighting, natural lighting, like the tiki torches. And I mean, lights also lights up the whole place. But using paint and stuff like that, it's not very easy to see people. But with this, it's just very nice to see where people are hiding. And that's it, guys. I don't know if we're at 20 minutes. And then I just moved the base to the other side, closer to the plot sign. I still couldn't put down the roofs, but showing you guys what the tiki torches does. And everything is just awesome, guys. I mean, now here I built another compartment on the porch to show you guys layers. So this will be my loot room, and my loot room will look the same as my first base building guide. And here we've got a wall that we have to go through. So we've got 1, 2, and we've got 1, 2. 2 walls that we have to go through to get to the loot. 2 walls that we have to go through to get to the loot. And again here, if I close that up, you've got 2 roofs that you need to go through, okay, to get to my loot. So yes, it isn't Fort Knox, I mean, it's very easy to build Fort Knox or build a base that you don't want, people to raid. You just build as wide as you can and as high as you can. Okay, so you put your plot sign on something, on a rock or elevated position, especially with the with the snapping now, you can put your plot sign on a hill or a rock, and then you can start your base lower than the plot sign, and then of course you can go higher. So that's the basis, a platform with 4 walls around it, and just more and more and more and more, higher, wider, wider, and that means the guys have to use as much C4 as possible. And if you don't give a shit about what your base looks like, you can put a wall in the center of every platform as well. Okay, but still, how does that stop them from coming from the top? Okay, and remember, C4 is sticking to walls now at the moment. You can't say, I'm 4 walls high. No, bro, I'm going to throw my C4 in the center of all four walls at the top, and blast that away, get on top of that, and then use different methods to get onto the top of your floor, onto the top of your roof, and I'll be able to get in from the top. Okay. But yes, that's how you protect your base. Yeah, I'm just showing you on my 2 stories. I'm a single player. There's more than enough space for everything I need. I mean, the first episode I showed you guys how much stuff I can push into that single loot room. So the rest of the base's space is just for fun. Look how nice that looks. Okay, and the reason you don't want to put a wall right through is if you drive your vehicle in there, your character needs a place to escape from. Okay. And yeah, this is just quick. The main point of the video, guys, is to show you there's no gaps below the walls. There's no dying. There's no frustration. And even if they put out the guide like this, I would be happy. Okay? So I hope you guys found it helpful and that it motivates you. And if you like this video, please press the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button. A lot more is coming. And click that bell button to be notified of future videos, guys. At the moment, I'm going to try and stick to a schedule where I bring you guys at least 3 videos a week. So, yes, there's a reason to click that bell button. And, all of you that know me, just have fun, boys. Just have fun and enjoy this freaking game, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Everything is awesome.